welcome back to the Weekly Mash, where we mash together books, authors, and all things bookish. Today's episode is a little different from what you normally see for our usual author interviews, but it's one that we are both super excited about, especially for writers out there that may be listening. Today we are joined by Abigail Turner, who co-owns the publishing company PipStones Publishing with her mother, and we are going to be looking at how they together help authors bring their books into life through services like editing, formatting, publishing, distribution, and marketing. Awesome.
Yay.
Abigail, thank you so very much for joining us. Would you like to tell our listeners a little bit about you and your work, and then we'll ask you some questions here.
Okay, yeah. Well, thank you so much, Ashley and Miranda, for having me. It's wonderful to be here. It's wonderful what you both do for authors, and I am just ecstatic to be here. So I just want to say that and thank you.
Thank you.
So basically what we do is we are a publishing company my mother and I founded in 2018, and we help authors bring their manuscripts from draft to published and beyond. And so I have written a book called Now What? The 7 Vital Steps to Self-Publish Your Manuscript. And it has some basic things in there that help authors kind of get their book going, and then a few things that help them beyond their publication date. So, yeah, it's an exciting thing, and I love working with authors. Just kind of a little bit of my background is I have lived in several different states. So I've lived in California, Arizona, Nebraska, Wyoming, Colorado, Alabama is my current home, what I call my home too. So I love the South and the people here. And I love, just connecting with authors at craft fairs and different places like that. I originally am a musician of 35 years. And so I was a music teacher for almost 20 years. So I have background in that and looking at the fine details and things. So I think that's what kind of led me into, this kind of service area that I do. And we originally started to publish my mom's work, and that grew into there was a need for author services. So here we are.
Awesome.
Man, you just ran with it. You're like, well, we're going to publish my mom's work, but while we're doing that, we're doing everything else.
Right.
And we're going to teach everybody else how to do it.
Awesome.
You said, hold on tight, Mom, because we're going on tight.
Yeah, exactly. And we didn't intend to do that. It was just like we found that there was misinformation or just so much to learn and navigate. I thought no author should have to go through this by themselves because there's just so much to it.
That's so cool. I'm telling you, Miranda, I'm buying this book for your birthday. I'm telling you.
I'll take it.
He needs it.
Any help I can get.
So the title of your book is something I think every author or every writer has asked themselves at some point, like, now what? I wrote like 5 chapters of a book, and then I was like, okay, but what do I do when I'm done? And then I was like, I'm finished. So what inspired you to write the Now What? The 7 Vital Steps to Self-Publish Your Manuscript? If I could talk, that would help.
Yeah, so actually I was taking some business classes. I don't know if you know who Spectacular Smith is, but he is a musician, and he has these entire courses and classes that he put out for people who are wanting to expand their businesses. And so with that, I was given some ideas about, you have these gifts and these talents, and you do these things with them. But is there anything really that someone can just take and say, you know what, I can run with this? And so that's really why I created Now What, because I thought, okay, I can talk any authors through this. I can coach them through these things, but do they have something that they can physically, like a DIY, and take it and go, okay, these are the basics, and I can do this.
I love the idea behind it. It's so amazing to be helping so many people with your experience that you gain knowledge from. That's awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, and I'd be one of those people who you could sit here and tell me all day, like, what I have to do next. But then, like, the minute we walk away, I'm like, okay, what did she just say to me?
Yeah.
So if I have it in a book where I can literally, like, highlight or, like, write notes, like, this is what I did, and, like, have your wisdom in paper, like, That helped me so much.
Yeah, and there are sections in there that are just, questions and then lined sections to be able to kind of graph that out. Yeah, so, okay, who's on your contact list? Who are you going to, what libraries are you going to contact? Write those here. Just getting it, their starter stuff, basically.
Amazing.
See, maybe I can write a book.
I
with Abigail's
know.
help.
We've got Abigail's help now. We're going to just run with it. See how that works?
Aw.
Yeah.
I love that.
Was there a moment working with authors when you realized a guide like this was really just needed? Like a particular moment in time?
Yeah, so I work with a lot of elderly authors, and basically people, one of our thing is no author is too young, too old, or too inexperienced. And you don't have to be this fabulous writer in order to get your stories out there. And so, going back to the elderly authors, I work with a lot of them, so they don't know how to like navigate computer type stuff. There are some that do, and I'm so impressed by that. But, many of them are like, I don't know about this Microsoft Word, and I don't know about these formatting programs. And so, how do I gap? How do I bridge that gap? And so, yes, this book definitely helps. It really any author, but particularly ones that can't navigate all those things.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh man, so cool.
Yeah.
It's funny because when you were talking about the elderly people, sorry, Dad, I'm going to call you out for a second. My dad always comes inside and he goes, how do I do this? And I'm like, well, what do you mean? You just do this? And he goes, but I don't know how to do that either. And I'm like, dude, you're not even that old. Like,
I was going to say, you called him elderly and he's like not even 60 yet.
Yes.
Hi, Dad. Love you. But it's just so funny because, like, I don't know. Like, for example, we're trying to find something to, I can't say it because my kid's in the other room and it's for him. But we're trying to buy something and he was like, I'm on Facebook and it says you guys have mutual friends. So do you know this person? We're like, no, our friend knows that person. He's like, well, I don't understand how this works. And I'm like, well, when you guys have a common friend, it says that friend is a common friend. He goes, but you don't know that person? No,
Yeah.
Dad, I don't know this person. So how come you guys have a mutual friend? I'm like, never mind. Never mind.
Yeah, so it takes some explaining like that. And so even when I have authors, they may have the book and I do, they've maybe hired us to help them with their publishing. I'm still coaching them through every little process. So all the way from setting up their social media to how to create a post, and we do a lot of those things for them. But I am teaching them those things along the way because we want their book and them to have this longevity.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the purpose of it, is to create an author platform for them and their book and longevity that can last for generations. Yeah. Because if they don't, I can do as much things as I want for them. But if they don't know how to do those things when I'm done working with them, what's the point?
Yeah.
And so the book helps with that, but also my coaching with them and getting them to understand how to do some things.
That's so cool. You're like a hero. Saying,
I need a flag.
Yeah.
No, I love what I do. I love the people that I work with. And you know what? God sends us the very best. He sends us the very best. And I'm just so thankful at everyone who has, acquired our services or asked for help, or and people will just call me up or book a consultation. I do free consultations and they'll just ask me some questions, and I love just being able to help them do that.
That's so cool. And the fact that you do it,
even if they don't hire us. Even if they don't hire us, I'm like, and then I keep in touch with them. And there's a few people on TikTok that have called for consultation, and hopefully I gave them some good advice. And
okay, so we're gonna role play a little bit. Just kidding.
Okay.
For someone who's just finished their manuscript and is feeling overwhelmed, that would be me, by the publishing process, how can your book help guide them through the next steps?
So they've just completed their manuscript.
Yep. And they're overwhelmed by publishing.
Yeah. Okay. So basically our book has a theme to it, and it kind of goes along with our company's theme. And the theme is growth. And so we start with the seed. The first chapter in the book is seeds. And that is your manuscript intact. And so it'll, go through the different parts that are in a book. And, of course, you're going to choose and pick which parts are necessary for your book. You might have a prologue if you have a fantasy book.
Yeah.
You may need an introduction if you have a memoir. And so it'll introduce those books very briefly. If I wanted to go through every single thing in depth, that would be a whole nother book. Okay. But so it's, briefly mentions those and then what parts you would need for yours. And then the second part is the editing essentials. And that is the stones. That is the foundations to a good book. If you don't have good editing, your book is going to flop.
Mm-hmm.
And so you need to be editing. And then you also, my suggestion is to send it to a professional editor. And find one that has reasonable rates and will work with you and also does a contractual agreement, because that is very necessary. Make sure you know what you're getting. I have talked to so many authors and they're like, yeah, they edited my book. And I'm like, I'm sorry, this just doesn't look like it's edited.
Yeah.
And they go, well, they edited it and handed it back to me. And I'm like, that's not how it works. It should be hand in hand. Your editor is working with you.
Mm-hmm.
You're going back and forth. You should have as much say in the editing process as the editor does. They're basically giving you suggestions, and then you're accepting those or denying those or discussing those with them. So make sure you know what you're getting and make sure you have a contractual agreement, and the full process should be given to you. So that is vital. And that's definitely a vital step. The next one is what we call the stems. And that is, so that you have these sturdy things for your book. That is the cover design and the interior formatting. And in this business, we do judge a book by its cover.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, it happens.
Yes. So make sure you have someone who can design the book for you, or you are familiar with the tools to design your own. I don't suggest someone to just jump in and just, oh, this cover looks amazing, when they have no experience doing it.
Yeah.
So either get really good at using the tools, and I do talk about the tools in the book, or hire a cover designer. And you can hire a cover designer for a decent price, anywhere between $100 to maybe $1,500 if it's hand illustrated, So somewhere in that range, $300-400 is a decent cover for your book. And then the interior formatting, I believe that the interior should be just as beautiful as the exterior and should complement each other. So you don't want to use this scrolly font inside for your interior formatting if you have this very stark, pointed font on the outside. So you want to, have them complement each other. Yeah, so that's your stems. The blooms are like the logistics of your book. So that would be chapter 4 in my book, is the LCCN, which is Library of Congress control number. Very important. A lot of people don't even acquire one.
So.
There you go.
Maria's like, write that down.
Helps that helps a library be able to look up your book super quick and be able to acquire it quick into their own library. Okay, so that's important. And then a copyright from the United States Library of Congress. You need your book copyrighted, and a lot of indie authors will overlook that. And it is important. It's $65 to do a copyright on your book. And then your barcode and your ISBN. Get your own ISBNs. Do not get the free ISBNs. Basically, if you do, then Amazon has just become your publisher. They basically own the rights to your book. Now, how far that goes and how far they're willing to go with that, I don't know. But you need your own ISBN and then your own barcodes. Okay, so there's some good advice there. And then the planters is your distribution. Choose your distribution channels wisely. And if you have your own ISBNs, you can put it on many different platforms. And we have seen, like just last week, Amazon shut down for about 12 hours or something like that. Always have your book on other platforms besides just Amazon or besides just Ingram. You need a website, whatever it is, another place for you to sell. And then make sure you are doing some local marketing, some social marketing, and you need a little bit of a platform there. to be able to, like we were talking about earlier, create author longevity and book longevity. And then the last chapter is about growth, and that is continuing beyond. Yeah.
It's so good.
So that's kind of the details in a light version of my book.
So good.
I love the theme of the plant growing,
Me
built
too.
within the book growing. It's so good.
Yeah. And it goes with our business. It's PipStones. A pip is a seed, and it's the beginning of growth. And then we have the stones are the foundations. So we believe that every author should have something beautiful to plant, which is their story. And then that can grow with good foundations. So yeah,
cool.
PipStones.
I know. Miranda's going to be like, I'm taking away everything from this interview.
I am listening. Yeah.
There is one last chapter in the book, and that's chapter number 8. And that is how I created that book. So it goes through the steps and how I did that.
So much fun.
So much good information. What's one mistake that you often see first-time self-publishing authors make?
Not creating author profiles. So it should be across the board, as close as possible to those things on each platform, and start creating those. If you don't have one now, get one started. Now, I will say I'm guilty of not having my own author platform because I do everything through PipStones.
Yeah.
So you're not going to see author Abigail Turner anywhere. You're going to see PipStones Publishing because I'm the face of the brand. So whatever is your brand, that's what you should be going through. Yeah,
I'm really guilty. I have my own personal pages. Number one, they just all got taken down, so that doesn't help. But number two, I never use my personal. I'm always on the Book Mash.
She is the face of Book Mash.
See, you're the face of the Book Mash.
Always.
Yeah. So everyone knows you as Ashley, the Book Mash girl.
Yeah. So I guess that is my author page.
Gotcha. Yeah, see, same.
Miranda's always like, I hate that my face is never on. I'm like, well, get going, girlfriend.
That's okay. I just use my own and then tag Book Mash and everything. It's fine. I don't mind it at all. It's all good.
Yeah. But you're an author. I mean, you're trying to get your author name out there. So yeah, the connection between the two. Yeah.
Everybody knows she's part of it.
Right.
She's just not as needy for attention as I am.
That's true.
Miranda's like, well, I wasn't going to say that, but okay.
Hey, you said it, not me.
Gosh, you guys are quite the duo. This is
thanks.
hilarious.
Thanks.
Love it.
We try.
If y'all know
We're
each
sisters.
other, I have to know this.
Yeah, so about
I didn't
36
know that.
and a half years.
I don't think you say that on all the interviews.
Oh, probably not. We're sisters.
Probably not. Yeah.
I just brought our sister onto our company too.
That's cool.
She has another job, but she's good at so many things. And so I was like, she and I just kind of decided together, hey, we really need this part of our business. And so, yeah, she's starting to build out some standard operating procedures.
That's
and
cool.
helping us out there.
Join the family.
Miranda and I were never close. Like growing up, we were like mortal enemies our whole lives. The only thing we had in common was that her oldest daughter and my middle daughter are 9 months apart, and they're best friends. So, and like our other kids are like the same age. So that was literally like the only thing we had in common. And we never really did much. Like I'd go hang out, but it was more like just being in each other's space.
Right.
And we both started reading again. I'm like, Miranda, I really want to start a podcast. And she's like, okay. And now she can't get rid of me at all during the day because constantly texting, I'm always video calling her. So now we have all this in common.
We definitely talk a lot more
now
than we did.
You both live near each other?
We're like 45 minutes away.
Yeah. It's not too bad.
Just keep us
close enough.
Yeah,
close enough.
Exactly.
My daughter calls my house her vacation home.
Mm-hmm.
So she's on vacation when she's here, and then she goes home for like spring break and stuff, which is Miranda's house. So
yeah, fun. Oh my gosh, how fun!
It is
love
fun.
That.
Oh gosh,
they're besties.
Yeah.
It's your turn, Miranda.
I think it's yours, but that's okay. One of my favorite things about books that help writers is when they include the practical tools. And you talked about the 7 vital steps and the growth. What types of resources or tools can authors expect to find inside Now What?
Okay, yeah. So with formatting, I believe Like I said, formatting is very, very essential to creating a beautiful book. So I think that using Atticus, I use Atticus for certain types of books. If I'm talking about doing a novel, I will use Vellum. I might use Atticus for like junior high, middle school, or I might use it for possibly a memoir or a humor book. Vellum would be novels. A lot of people use Microsoft Word. I find that a little more difficult to use and add images and such, but some people, can use that. And then there's also Google Docs. So those are the main ones for formatting. If you are going to acquire, I'll move to a different subject. If you're going to acquire the logistics for your book, you need to go to Bowker.com to get your ISBNs and your barcodes. Go to loc.gov to get your LCCNs, and you can apply to be an author on there, and then you can get your LCCNs for the Library of Congress control number, and then copyright.gov to get your copyright for the United States Library of Congress. So there's some resources. I also do have some other free resources in the book, and there's some QR codes in there that go to our website and such, and some free self-publishing guides. Let's see, if you want to go and get a free self-publishing guide, you can go to psauthourservices.com. And so I don't know how far you want me to go with that. Do you want me to tell you where they can
We're
find
just writing it all down, so
It's recorded. I'll check it out again later.
But you can also go to PipStones.com. You can get a free 2-page edit by our company. I'll do that personally for you. And you can do what you want with that. Try to acquire more editing service from us, or just take that and run with it. Yeah, so go to PipStones.com and you'll find some other resources on there. And we have a TikTok channel, Abby the Author Coach. You can go to Facebook and find information there that you might find helpful, videos and such. That's PipStones Publishing on Facebook, PipStones on Instagram, Pip_Stones on X. X is a tough platform.
it is.
But I hang in there. I do hang in there.
My mom's always like, why aren't you guys on X? And we're like, because it's too complicated.
Yeah, we're enough places.
We are enough places.
It is a tough one. I do enjoy it, but there's just not a lot of interaction back and forth, So it's hard. It's hard, but they do have cool stuff on there.
But you never know if people are actually seeing you, or if...
Right.
I've put a post out before, like, am I talking into the void?
Yeah.
That's how I feel teaching online middle schoolers sometimes.
Oh my gosh, yes, I taught middle schoolers. I know exactly what you're talking about.
I coach middle school softball.
Do you?
I do.
My gosh, more power to you.
So I'm a preschool teacher. So it's like the best of both worlds.
Is it though?
Wow. I bet you're an amazing teacher.
Oh, thanks. I don't know about that. Who gave me that job?
Well, you're fun, and that's what they like too, and they're interested in all the cool things you do, probably.
You should have seen our 101st day of school.
Yeah, that was good.
So everybody does their 100th day of school. I did our 101, and we were doing Dalmatian themed. Well, of course, I was Cruella de Vil. I went a little bit crazy with the Cruella de Vil.
It was cool. More power to you. That's why I teach middle school. I can't do that.
Miranda's like, no.
Nope.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going back to you because I could sit here and talk about me all day.
Right? Yeah.
So we always love to hear why you do what you do. What inspired you and your mother to start the journey helping authors bring their books into the world?
Yeah, so, okay, I have a little story for you. When we were working on my mother's first novel, is a very lengthy novel, had a lot to it. We weren't real versed in editing and things like that. We reached out to someone who my sister knew. This woman was a romance novelist. She actually does pretty well. I won't mention her name. But to try to get whoever was editing her books to edit ours. And she just was really snooty and ugly to us about it.
No.
And she was like, why would I give you my editor's information? She does all my books, like she had this special hook with her editor that her editor didn't want any more business. And I thought, you know what? I looked at my mom and I said, no author should ever have to go through this,
Yeah.
ever. And it was really then and there that my mom and I sat there and went, how can we help other authors? And how do we learn how to do these things the best way that we can and make it an enjoyable experience for authors? Because that was really like a, whoa, is this what it's like in this world? And I just thought, it can't be like this. It cannot.
No.
So that's what inspired us to start our company.
That's amazing.
And people are so ugly about it too. Like once you do it like every single day and like you get tired of your job, people just become ugly. And it's like,
yeah.
Why? When I'm the one paying you, why would you be ugly to me?
Exactly. Yeah, I know.
I don't understand it.
People these days.
And I'm sure that her editor would have loved to have had some more work.
Right.
Yeah.
Because they're freelancers, you know, and that's how they make their bread and butter. That's their bread and
Word
butter.
of mouth is the biggest thing, too.
Yeah. If I knew who her editor was, I'm not an ugly person like that, but it's kind of like, I'd like to have a conversation with her. No.
That your authors are not giving word of mouth.
Right.
Goodness. Yeah.
How unfortunate for them.
Yeah, like she owned her or something. I'm like, this isn't like the 1800s where we're commissioned to do work. You know, we're not Mozart here.
Goodness.
That's
commissioned
terrible.
by the king.
Terrible. Gross.
Well, we're going to do some rapid fire, but before we do, you mentioned before we started recording that you had some other books, some other works that you have developed. Can you tell us a little bit about those? And then when we do our rapid fire, we could like branch out from just the one work.
Sure, yeah. Okay, so my first book that I wrote was a children's book called Eskimo Joe, A Musical Journey. And I wrote an activity guide to go with it. And it's like this resource guide. I actually intended it, like I said, I was a music teacher for a very long time, almost 2 decades. And so I wrote it to help the general classroom teacher integrate music and other curriculum into their day. And so I created that and this resource guide to go with it. It also has a musical narration to it.
Fun!
And it's in poetic form. So it's really unique. And like I said, I was a musician. I am still. I played the flute for 35 years.
Wow.
So the flutes on there are Native American flute and they're played by me.
That's
so
cool.
It just has this beautiful native sound to it and some drums with it. And it goes through the whole book. It's just really a beautiful experience for any classroom. And there's stuff about history of biology of the animals and different things in that activity guide, storyboards and dot to dots and you name it is in there. So that's kind of a special thing. I originally wrote that for a Mommy and Me music program, but
I just had to write it down
when we started publishing. And I do have all this stuff on my TikTok shop too. Okay. And then I also wrote a Southern humor book called Redneck Sayings and Terms. And it is based on my husband, who is originally born and raised in the South. We live in a little town called Red Level. And when I moved out here in 2006, it was difficult for me to understand the lingo.
I'm sure.
And so I guess now that I do, I'm part of it. So, but it's fun and it talks about my love for the South and the people here too. And then I've got some important chapters in it, like the history of the redneck and where that came from. And then also about the Second Amendment and, different things like that, have to do with the South. So yeah, that's a fun book. And then I have Now What? And I just finished a Christmas novel, so who knows? Maybe I'll publish that at some point. So we'll see.
Well, I know a lady if you need help. Just so you know.
Oh, yeah.
I know a lady. Just so you know.
Oh, that's funny.
She was really fun to interview. I'll give you her information because I'm not like that lady who wouldn't give you the editor. I'll give you all the secrets.
We're happy to share.
Give you the skibby. Yeah.
Okay, we're going to go into rapid fire, which never ends up being rapid fire, but that's okay.
We'll try.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, so coffee or tea or something else?
Okay, coffee definitely in the morning and when I wake up in the middle of the night to write. But I drink unsweet tea, which I know is not well known in the
Right.
South.
I was
I'm
going to say,
one
you're
of
in the
those
wrong place
people.
for that.
Right. So when I ask for an unsweet tea, they're
What?
like, "You want sugar with that?" No. Unsweet.
That's hilarious.
That's the point of it, being
Yeah.
unsweet.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
That is funny.
When you write, are you a plotter or a pantser?
Pantser, definitely.
Yeah.
That's why I write so many different types of things, is because whatever comes to mind is going to come out on the
Yeah.
paper.
Yeah, I
Awesome.
can see that. When you're reading, paperback, ebook, or hardcover?
Paperback. Yeah. I like something physically in my hand, and I like it to be floppy. I
Me
can
too.
turn it easy and all that.
Yeah, comfy.
Yeah.
Without breaking the spine.
Yes.
Can't break the spine.
That's right. Yes.
But floppy to be able to turn it.
Favorite part of publishing, editing, formatting, or marketing?
Formatting, definitely. I love it. I love it when the authors get their, formatted stuff and they're like, "Oh my gosh, this is really beautiful." I'm like, "Yes.
You're welcome.
Yes,
I did
that's
that.
what I want
You're
right
welcome.
there."
Mine would be the
Yes.
marketing.
Probably.
Awesome. Yeah. I have somebody that helps us with that. I have a team of people.
Awesome. Hey, yeah.
Yeah. Do you need help? I got you, boo. I'll be the face.
Awesome. We may just trade services.
Just saying. Well, you'd have to trade with Miranda, and I'll just do mine. Because
Okay.
I'm not writing a book.
Okay.
I started, not
All
finishing.
right.
One word to describe the self-publishing journey.
In a positive way or
Let's go.
Full.
it can be very full.
Yeah.
And so you got to know your parts and pieces.
First thing an author should do after finishing a manuscript, in one word.
Celebrate.
Yes.
Should
I like
celebrate.
Good one.
That's a huge accomplishment. I just got the chills. When I finished my novel, I sat there and I cried. I was like, "Oh my gosh, this was..."
Yeah.
And a lot of people do. They'll sit there and they'll cry. And then I was like telling my son and telling my husband, and just so excited. Celebrate.
We just got done with an interview right before you, and we asked her what she does when she's finished with her manuscript, and she said, "I cry and then order food."
Yeah, see? Yeah, almost everybody cries. They're just like, "This was just so much of my heart,"
Yeah.
Yeah.
One publishing myth you wish would disappear.
Okay. That if you are paying someone to publish your book, that they're ripping you off. That is not true. There are companies like ours, and there are other ones that are similar to ours, that are literally going above and beyond to help you do the things that you need to do. And yes, we're a pay for service, but you're going to get, if you're working with a small publishing company, you're going to get so much more than what you even bargained for.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Very true.
All right. Well, that was all of our questions for you, and you already told us everywhere we could find everything you and PipStones, so we'll have everything linked in the captions below. Abigail, thank you so much for joining us today, and we will see everyone next time.
Thank you for having me, and have a blessed day.
Of course.
All right.